It's the March housing update. Let's jump into what is happening in the Austin metro area. First, some great news. There's going to be a lot of future growth here in the metro area. A few to name off is 3 billion, Southwest, and of course, Elon Musk's Terrafab. This is pretty neat. Take a pause, look at the growth. This means that we're still expanding as a city, and that is great news for future housing values. Now, going into long-term growth score, also take a pause on this. If you look at this, you'll see that we're a score of 60. What does that mean? So this is out of 100. The closer you are to 100, the greater likelihood that appreciation will occur, right? Right now, this 5 to 10 year projection is at 60. So that's really great to see that we're well above 50, that we're getting closer and closer to the upper value versus in 2022 we were at 55, and that made sense because, well, we started to have reduction in values at that time. Okay, let's jump into our inventory. You can see the graph going upward. It's trending northward of 16 plus thousand listings. So right now, being in March, we understand that, well, we're going to see more inventory as we creep into the spring and summer months. Very historical, very normal. That said, we are continuing to see elevated inventory, and we don't expect this to go away in the next few years. That means as a seller, you're going to have more competition. And as a buyer, you'll have more options than any time in history in the Austin real estate market. So this is a very, very unique period in time that is an advantage to buyers. So what's a summary? What's happening overall? First, days on market. How long is it taking to sell? 90 days. So sellers, of the people who are selling, around 18% of the sellers, it takes you 90 days to get a buyer and then 30 more days to close. We see that there's new listings of about 3% for year over year and 92% closed price to original list price. So what that means is if your asking price on MLS as a seller's $500,000, then you're going to receive 92% of that at closing, which means buyers have negotiation power at this time. And sellers, you should expect negotiation to happen. Median list price is at 459. Median close price is at 405. Our active listings are 11,610 with 2,078 closed and sold listings. So about almost 18% of all homes on the market are selling. That's it. That's it, right? Everything else continues to stay active. So we have 43% more homes on the market than a traditional market. That would be balanced. We have almost 6 months of inventory. So pause this. It also tells us each bracket you're in, what is the probability of that home closing that month? So if you're between or upward of $500,000, you have a 20% chance of selling in 1 month, right? As you get to the higher price points, luxury, 3 to 5 million, you have about a 5 to 6% chance of selling that month. Sellers, let's go down this fun path. February sales are typical. The sold data tells us that the amount of buyers buying it's a normal amount of closings. This is great news. So that feeling that you feel as a seller of, wow, this is a competitive market, that's true. It's competitive because the amount of inventory, the amount of sellers that are on the market are exceeding normal trends at this time. So you're going to feel that for the next few years. Definitely that is an expectation that we're setting to all of our clients. Now, in addition to this, sellers, you're achieving about 6% less than the list price. We already spoke about that earlier. And interest rates, they're fluctuating because of this war thing going on, inflation, gas, all of that combined will have a slight impact on real estate. We just don't know exactly what will occur or how long that may influence us overall. Hopefully, it's a short period of pain. Now, out of all the homes currently for sale, only 18% again are going under contract each month. And for those homes, it's taking 90 days to find a buyer and then 30 more days to close. So you're about 4 months from starting your putting your home on the market to selling as a seller. Buyers, again, more buyers have come back to the market. Surprisingly, I've seen more buyers reach out in the last 2 months than I've seen the 8 months of last year. So it's remarkable. I think a lot of people are feeling, and what I continue to hear is people are feeling that this is closer to the dip. This is closer to the end, and they're ready. It's been 4 years. They continue to wait, and it's been long enough, right? Most homes right now are having about 2 price reductions before we see a home going under contract. So that's great for a buyer as long as, well, the home's in perfect condition in a great location. It may not actually have 2 price adjustments. That may go quick and we still see multiple offers. Now, don't buy unless you plan to stay for a minimum of 3 years. This still rings true. And we know that sellers are willing to negotiate. The luxury world, completely different world. Right now, it's a very strong market. We had about 152 closed properties above a million, and that's been consistent for the last 3 years in the month of February and into now March. So, great news if you're in the luxury world. In non luxury, you're still having a lot of competition. If you have any questions, I'm here. I never go away, right? Past clients, if you have any needs, you're curious about what's happening, even specifically to your neighborhood, reach out. All right, we'll see you next month.